barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So, August 25th, don't forget free backpacks, free haircuts in Inglewood, California. Come on out. September 28th, man, I can't wait. That rhymes. Save the date between 10 and 2. It'll be in the LA Basin. We're going to do a great event. We're going to do a give back to my city, LA, California. Expect a huge turnout. I already got a city councilman confirming that he's coming. I spoke with him yesterday, and he's coming to support the event. And I'm telling you, my city gonna show up and show out, man. My city coming, dog. I can't wait. And as you guys get in town, don't ever hesitate to contact me. And LDBC, all my kings and queens, you know. I would love to host a dinner for y'all Thursday night. Friday night is gonna get kind of hectic. It's gonna get kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Everybody want to go out and enjoy Los Angeles, but Thursday is a kind of a slow night. We can do like we can do a dinner. I'll host a dinner, and we can do like a comedy show or something like that. Matter of fact, I'll even, if we can confirm, I can even pay for the barbers to come. I mean, pay for the comedians and the entertainers to come to my crib. We can have it in my backyard. That'll be pretty dope. And but anyways, moving forward. So if my LDBC Kings come in, help me. I get a head count as you guys confirm and let me know. Buy your tickets. But you know, I said this in my other video, but I'm just in a cathartic experience. I'm in a position where I just want to purge myself of all this negativity that I've been holding on, and by me not speaking about it, and I'll tell you the reason why I didn't talk about this a lot, because I got a lot of relationships in boxing that I didn't want to offend, that I didn't want to go up against. So I kept all this stuff to myself. You know what I mean? But then I realized how powerful I truly am. You know what I mean? And and how I basically can do the same thing without a credential. I don't need a credential to do my job, because everybody typically knows me, you know what I mean, for the most part. And if they don't know me, I'm connected well enough where I can get to know them. And I don't say that out of arrogance. I say that out of work ethic and y'all love and support for my channel. Now, this is the moment when I realized I had to get the fuck out of this wanting credentials and just start covering boxing just on the strength. You know, because getting a credential, it doesn't pay for your plane ticket. It doesn't pay for nothing. It just gives you a right to go to the press conference and basically the post-fight press conference, right? And I remember this shit vividly. It was the Keith Thurman, Josecito Lopez weigh-in. And we're literally in front of the weigh-in, right? I'm literally in front of the weigh-in, and Kelly Swanson is there, and Tim Smith is there. And we have like a 5-minute conversation and or dialogue, right? And I wouldn't say it wasn't a conversation; it was a disagreement. And that's when, if you guys have been following my channel for some time, you always say that's why I have a great deal of respect for Gary Russell, because Gary Russell saw Kelly Swanson pointing her finger at me and cursing me out, talking very strong, and Tim Smith is right there listening to her, and I asked her to keep her hand out of my mouth, because in public setting, you ain't gonna win against a woman, let alone a white woman. So I literally had to take it in front of the whole entire media, right? In front of the whole entire weigh-in. It was so bad that people like, man, what happened? Man, anyways, that's neither here nor there. But we're disagreeing, and Kelly Swanson said something that was so like, it bothered me. It really rubbed me the wrong way, and I've been sitting on this ever since. She said, Fred, no one cares. I'm quoting her. I'm not paraphrasing. I am quoting her. No one cares about those black issues. Just focus on boxing. And I looked, and you know how you imagine yourself like erupting and basically devouring someone, destroying them. That literally happened in those 3 seconds, 4 seconds. And I just kept my composure, and I smiled, and I said, oh, really? She says, yeah, no one cares about those black stories. Keep it boxing. And then I see how she always make black media members go through the ringer. You know what I mean? You know, like they're a big. I'm not gonna mention names because I don't know their relationship with them. I don't want to disrupt their relationship. But you got big media outlets that fighting for one credential, when you got other media outlets that are half their size getting 2 and 3 credentials. I see it every day. I see it all the time, right? You got a person like me who is very influential in terms of dictating narrative in this sport of boxing, right? And I don't have to bite, beg, and claw for my credentials. Kelly Swanson had to learn that out the hard way, that I can literally go above her head if I truly want to. But I don't use those type of relationships. I just take it and just keep it pushing, right? But when she said that shit, and I realized the fighters that she covered, the fighters that she works for. See, people misconstrue the fact that she's a hired contractor. She's not the entity in boxing. She's not the end of, what is it, the end of all be alls? Is that what it's called? You understand what I'm saying? But the point I'm making is the disrespect. And then I have 100 stories, and I'm gonna get them all out as they come to me. I'm gonna start writing them down, and I'm not gonna. This ain't no opinion based. These are all fucking facts. All facts. I'm not gonna make up no stories. I will not. I have every story. I will tell you guys about the problems that I had to go through with a credential because I believe what I believe. I'm not saying I'm right all the time, but because I believe what I believe, they have a level of fear. They have a level of like, we can't allow this to happen. Every black media member that's ever covered a fight, I'm not lying, has had to go through the ringer with Kelly Swanson. Listen, if Mike Coppinger can tell her #1 employee, Lisa Milner, shut the fuck up, bitch, and nothing happens, I'm going to repeat that. If Kelly Swanson can allow her #1 employee, Lisa Milner, at the time, she's since gone off and got grown off the greener pastures. I don't know her, but congratulations to her. Whatever. Shut the fuck up, bitch, and keep on doing his interview, and nobody does nothing about it. Give me a fucking break, man. That's just. And then little old me, who believes and stands on his square for what he believes in. I've never cursed anybody out. In terms of leading, I've only responded to, because the only way you devour something is equal or greater force, right? And I know this, and I fully grasp and understand this, right? And I can't take a step back because they don't like me anyway, right? And I'm doing this video because I wanted her to see my face as I'm telling the story. I didn't want to hide behind a picture of her. And but at the end of the day, I don't think she's good for boxing. I think that she's gotten to the point where she believes she's above the law. She believes she's judge and jury. Just a level of disrespect. And I don't walk on eggshells in my house. I don't walk on eggshells in my city. Why should I have to walk on eggshells because I want that lanyard around my neck? That lanyard around my neck is not worth me compromising who I am. And the reason why it took so long for me, I wouldn't say it took long, but it took a couple months for me, because I wanted to have conversations with people in boxing who I didn't want to offend by just being 100% me. Because whether I have a credential or don't have a credential, it's the same cost for me to go and cover a fight. Understand what I'm saying? And people are going to say, oh, Fred, don't do this. Nothing will change on my channel. I will still do the weigh-ins. I will still do the press conferences. Nothing will change. I'm trying to tell you, nothing. Nothing. I don't need a credential because of my relationships in boxing. She can't supersede. Now she done went behind my back 100 times and spoke to everyone in boxing. Now, I'm going to lean on my relationships a little bit more to get me in and to do this, to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to do all that a little bit more, right? I'm going to ask. If they say no, it's cool. I'm not going to apply any pressure. I'm just going to ask. No one is obligated to, but I hope that you would. right? But her venom, she's not good for boxing in terms of the totality of, in terms of its energy. You understand what I'm saying? Swanson Communications works for PBC. They are in my guesstimation, they are a contracted employee of PBC, Heyman Boxing. And black media has to go through hoops to get credentialed. White media members can get 2 and 3 credentials. I'm being honest with you. Like, I just use Mike Coppinger's name for example. My media outlet is 3 times bigger than his. I told him the same information that Mike Coppinger get, I get hours, days before he even gets it. And I tell him, he knows this, but I just don't report it because, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, it just doesn't, right? Just how I knew that, because I wanted to take the lead on this, that Eddie Hearn was lying about the contract in Saudi Arabia. I knew. So what I do, I reported because I wanted to. I felt like it. And what happened the next day? Then he started reporting it. So I'm telling you, I get the information first. I have everybody's phone number in boxing, or I can get it. So the point, I said all this to say this. Work hard, believe in yourself, bet on yourself, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to lean on your work ethic, lean on your trust of yourself, lean on the trust of your relationship. I'm going to have to create this. I don't take this out of context. I'm not comparing boxing to slavery, okay? I'm not doing it. But I have to create this underground railroad in boxing. And at the end of the day, I'm going to take all these bumps and bruises and all this, in my humble opinion, for the next generation. For the next black media member who wants to come forward. Because Kelly Swanson looks down on so many black media outlets. It is disgusting. I mean, when I say it is, man, it is disgusting. You can't have a civil conversation with her. She's always yelling and taking things personal, and I'm done with it. I'm done. So I wanted her to see I wanted you to see my face, Kelly. Like, I wanted you to see my face, and so you know and understand what you are currently doing for the sport of boxing. And truth be told, if these black athletes wouldn't hire her, and I don't think they hire her, they just contracted, they just doing what's protocol, right? It's just like, it's like you go to the supermarket, you grab the cart, you go through aisle 1, and you work your way through. Even if you want something in the fresh deli department, you still go through aisle 1 and do your shit. And that's what these boxers do. They're not even thinking about shit that I'm currently thinking, because they don't know what I inherently go through. I do this shit for the love of the sport in boxing. And above all, I know every fighter that I've ever interviewed of minority color, Mexican, black, always talks about how, private conversations, how we need to take our power back. So y'all take y'all power back on y'all end, and I'm going to take my power back on the media side. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And we're going to have some fun now. We 1,000% rocking out now. Man, I feel when and I'm not trying to be the Lone Ranger. People going to call me the black sheep. People going to call me crazy. People going to call me racist. Listen. What Drake say? It ain't lonely at the top. I don't want to be. I'm not lonely. I'm loving this. I'm embracing it, and I'm going to do it for us. And that Rich Paul, when I saw Rich Paul last night, it definitely inspired me. And too, knowing that I have the love of my brothers in LDBC. And truth be told, y'all didn't know this shit. I'm gonna just tell this shit out now, because I'll tell it in another video, because that deserves its own title. Anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations. Kelly Swanson, why don't you hire a black person? You work for Al Heyman. You work with all these black fighters. Can we get a black person that works for Swanson? I guarantee they're gonna hire somebody now. But they don't even have a Latino employee, if I'm not mistaken. They don't, a full-time employee. Everybody's white. And truth be told, they don't have the decorum or the sauce to even manipulate the situation as a whole. They may have moments of greatness, but I'm talking about, and as a whole, they don't. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations. Kelly Swanson. You picked the wrong one because you didn't know I was a real one. Keep your credentials, Kelly. Keep them. Keep them. I'm just going to tell the truth. I got so many first-hand stories that's going to keep your credentials, Kelly. Keep them. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Peace.